Hi there. My name is Mike Brymack. I'm a sales engineer here at Latera. Today I'll be taking you through our Content Companion application. Content Companion is part of the larger Latera drafting suite. Latera software is designed to empower lawyers from first draft to final delivery and simplify the way that the legal profession is leveraging technology. We see in this document drafting lifecycle wheel all the stages of a document and how Latera helps. In the creation space, where we'll be focusing on, we have precedent, clause, and content insights to help insert content into our agreement to really make sure we're providing what our client is asking for. We also help, of course, in the check space with proofreading and repair, the collaboration space with comparison and cleaning and collaboration, and of course the PDF publishing space. Now, Content Companion lives within Microsoft Word, so you never have to leave the document that you're working on to go ahead and access. Inside Microsoft Word, we can see I've got a Latera tab. If we picture that wheel we saw a second ago laid out across one word ribbon, this is what we've got, my Latera desktop space. In here I can create a document. I can run some procedures to clean it up. I can insert content, which we'll get to in a second. I can proofread it and repair it, and then launch a comparison or clean the metadata out of that document. In this case, I've got a master services agreement open. Maybe my client has asked for X, Y, or Z to be inserted into it to really make sure that contract is strong. Now, there are a few ways today a lawyer may access this content. They may go ahead and have a clause library somewhere where they can copy and paste into this new source. They may do what we call document recall, remembering a contract they worked on last October with a similar clause, and then they go and copy that clause and bring it into this new agreement, or a number of other ways. Now, there's some potential risk that comes with that. One, we could be bringing in previous client information into this new agreement. Two, we could be bringing in a clause that really isn't our strongest or a preferred clause. It could be something that was negotiated upon. And three, there's a number of issues that can come with copying and pasting a clause into a new document that can impact style and word performance. What we can do is have a clause library directly inside of Word where I can access my preferred content and cleanly insert it into this new agreement. When I hit Show Library, it opened up a content section for me on the right-hand side. There are three areas in here. I have My Content, which is an area where I, as a lawyer, can store my own preferred language and easily access this language. It's also shareable. If I have a certain number of junior lawyers working with me, I can share my content with them so they can insert it into the documents they're working on for me. There's also firm content and practice areas. Firm content is standardized content everyone in the firm has. Managed by some administrator, and we're able to leverage our firm knowledge and provide it to everyone in one easy-to-access space. We also have practice area folders, which I like to think of more as groups. If I am part of that finance group, I can access and use the content that's been stored in there that's customly made to our particular team and the clients we work with. Now, in this particular agreement, maybe my client asked for a couple of payment terms to be included. There are two ways for me to get this content. I can search using keywords or key phrases to find a clause. Or I can navigate through this folder structure, find the content I need, and from there it's really easy to insert into my agreement. All I have to do is either double click, I can drag and drop, or I can right click and insert. And what that does is brings the clause into the document for me, adheres to the structure and style, and I can be confident I've got the best content in my agreement. Now, there may be instances where I find a clause I know I want to save for the future. We make it really easy to do so. All I have to do is highlight a section I want to save, choose the Save button, and what pops up is a window for me to save that clause off. Now, with each clause we have, we need to give it a display name, so I'll just call MSA Example for this demo. Help text is auto-populated with who created it and when, and I can see that when I'm viewing a clause that's chosen. We typically will use this for drafting or guidance notes. Use when X, Y, Z. It's not uncommon for us to have multiple different versions of the same clause in one folder. I can then choose where I want to save it, and I'll say my anonymized folder, and I want to point out this anonymize button. When I say OK, if I have that checked off, this will take a look at the content for client-specific information, a name, a date, a national insurance number, a credit card number. Any information we know we won't want to use the next time we use this clause. Now I can see there are a number of items in here. I can choose to anonymize them with a variable, a symbol, or a blank line. If I choose variable, I can go in here and say, okay, this is our closing date. Freedom Solutions Group, that's our client. We definitely want to get rid of this. Now we see some information that is pertinent to Litera. Let's leave that in here. We'll use this every time. And then ABC Incorporated, maybe in a transaction, this is the seller. When I say OK, what this will do is create and clean up our variables, finalize that for us. And if I now go to use this clause in a future document, what we will now have is variable placeholders ready to be filled in with the relevant information for today's document. Now that is just one component of what this tool can do with the clause library and the creation and the insertion. I want to show you some other pieces that have been included though. Recommending content is a great feature that allows us to leverage the Litera recommendation server to find organizational knowledge. This streamlines contract review and drafting and precedent research by using smart drafting recommendations. If I see a clause that I'm maybe not sure I want to use, I can highlight that clause and say, let's recommend content. This will take a look at the clauses that we have stored in our recommendations server and compare them against other ones that we have. In this case, we found two similar clauses that we may want to replace it with. I can view the precedent clauses in here once I expand this window. And one of them is significantly different. I've got a view into metadata of this clause. Who created it, when, what client it was for, what type of document. I can go in and see the source if I'd like. There's also a more info pane that will take me to a web browser where I can do advanced research using different filters. If I'm confident though this is the clause I want to use, I can go ahead and insert this and it will replace that content with my new clause. And again, I'm able to leverage that organizational knowledge. Now there are a lot of things we can do with Content Companion on top of what we've seen today with the recommendation and the insertion and the saving. We've got revision options for a bulk find and replace. I've got the ability to break this document down easily by parsing it and a few other things. If you have further questions about this application, please do reach out to your dedicated account executive and they'll be happy to put you in touch with one of our sales engineering team members to give you a better look at what this tool can do for your firm. Thank you for joining me today and appreciate you taking a look at Content Companion. Have a good rest of your day.